Hello. If you did not read the title already, this is going to be on my opinion on how pressure makes you feel insignificant and is a great example of how spatial awareness can be used to your advantage as a writer. And this is more of like a weird mosh combination of a video essay and something without a script, just me ranting and I don't like using this term, but somewhat glazing pressure because I genuinely believe that people do not speak for how they tackle spatial awareness enough and how pressure is very good with establishing space, size, and significance of you as an individual. So I'm just gonna start off with the narrative and writing section, and we're gonna start off with character versus self. Now, there are many different ways that the player themselves makes themselves feel insignificant, whether that be to the variety of phobias that being within Hadal Black Site causes, so like the lockers and claustrophobia, thalassophobia, basic one, and a variety of other ones. Even Pandora's Box is giving you like 19 different phobias. I'd have to put the document picture on screen, but okay, you can take it off screen now. But just that, and then a combination of let me remind you, in Pressure, which is based in like a Roblox universe where studs are a measurement, the Bandlands exists as like a purgatory and all those things, that you're a criminal. You are a convicted criminal, which I'll get to later when we go to character versus society. But for right now, I'm going to talk about character versus supernatural. That is another type of conflict in the narrative and just in the general style of the game. You are literally fighting against abnormal entities that are capable of killing you in an instant. And they are like 3 times, if not 10 times, your height and width. We have the anglers, which are like an impending doom. We have Pandemonium, whose eyes light up the moment it lands line of sight with you. If you are looking at it and it sees you, even if you are peeking out of view from a crate with 1 pixel, it will see you, it will kill you, you will die. And then we're not even gonna talk about the fact that literal God can't even save you in this game, because the guardian angel is being contained in urban facilities after being heavily injured and pacified by the head piercer, and is marked by literal Roblox demon himself. And basically they use that blood and then the tokens and stuff, and then Lady Death is basically on retirement or like a vacation or some form of leave because there's really nothing for her to do. She's just kind of watching the Bandlands now in the ocean with all the cruises and stuff. But I'm not gonna go in the lore. That's not anything I'm here for. I'm not here for lore. I'm just here for like the basic general stuff, the general ideas. And basically, in a way, EXRPs are immortal. If you die, oh, here's my token, try again, and we're back. So you're significant enough to get revived, but only for the facility's purpose. You're not getting revived because they are like, oh, I feel bad for you. No, you're getting revived because they want you to do what they assigned you to. You are a bug under their shoe. You are a gum under their shoe. And they want you to fulfill their mission. They don't care about your family or nothing. And then also the idea of being given an absolutely absurd, almost seemingly impossible task. And if you get the new ending, the new ending cutscene, which I'll put on screen because I recorded me getting that ending, the normal ending and the salvation ending. That whatchamacallit? That even the guards are shocked, and they are like, what if this is all some sort of game, like a little small meta reference to the fact that you're literally playing a video game. And then we're gonna talk about character versus society, which is more or less like you versus the world. Girl versus world. The theme that no one will ever believe you anyway. It is cold, but it speaks so true to Urban Shade as a whole, and its themes, considering it was inspired by SCP, where the fact that the entities and the things you see are so absurd that even if you were to reiterate that to another person, articulate what you saw in words to another person, they wouldn't believe you. And in some cases, if people do even believe you, Urban Shade could still kill you. Like, I hope people understand that, like, when it comes to Urban Shade and the way they're similar to SCP, Urban Shade does not care about ethics. The guy who found the abstracts, they took them. They bought all of them or whatever, and I believe they actually killed the guy who found them. Oh, the divine that was originally found in the forest, they burned the forest down! Robloxian fires. I'm gonna probably have to bleep out the state name so it doesn't put one of those things at the bottom where it tells about the event. But they do not care. If they find something that they believe will be at risk of being able to roam around the common world, the common Robloxian sphere, they will take out all life around it and then put it under the guise through an article. False journalism, yellow journalism, which is nuts, but that's just the steps they'll go. And then Urban Shade is technically the only way you can really be fully welcomed back into modern Roblox society anyway, by fabricating articles claiming that you were released and funded for wrongful imprisonment and sent home through private airline means. I'll also put that on screen because they mentioned that in the cutscene. Like I said before, in the Pressure universe, you are considered a criminal. If you were let out freely, either A, a bounty hunter could have killed you, or B, you would have been able to get a job, your insurance and everything would have been crazy. The fact that you are even being pardoned by Urban Shade is a blessing in and of itself. And really, that is the only way you can live in that scenario. You either have to fight for your life and go through everything, or die trying. And even if you die trying, there's a chance that you will still get revived anyway. And oh, we're back in it again. Purgatory! So, as messed up as it is, the idea of Urban Shade pardoning you is like your only chance of going home. And it works as their filtration system, quote unquote, to be able to get the crystal given to Mr. Shade, who looks dead. I don't know what's going on with him. He's just not speaking. And I heard Navi when he was on his wheelchair, so I don't know what kind of things that guy has been on, but I hope he's doing decent. Oh yeah, and everyone and everything at Urban Shade is out to get you. Turrets taken over by a Seppian AI. Self-aware AI is trying to kill you. If you kill Painter, which I'll go on a tangent about that later near the end, Sebastian will kill you, and you won't get your normal end. You have these giant creatures that are out to kill you. You have wall dwellers that want to smack you and eat you. Not even the grass wants you. You can touch grass and that won't even want you. Stinky. Like, I don't... it's crazy. Even the sea bunnies are out to get you. You trade a defibrillator with them, they will give you a landmine and explode in front of you. Everything and everyone is out to get you. Even the imaginary friend, who you feel like you can somewhat trust, will, if you tab out for a certain period of time, she will be behind you with her arms hugging around your shoulders, with her head just kind of like starting like right in front of you, like she's finna bite your head off. Same thing with the blue one, except it has this freaking bite of 87 jaw popping out with its eyes far back in its mouth. But even your quote-unquote friend, your 2-day, 48-hour imaginary friend is out to get you. You can't even trust your own friends. You can't even trust people of the same class as you. Or lower. Society, no matter where you are in pressure, is out to get you. And that makes you feel equally as small, equally as insignificant. So now that we've done narrative, I want to talk about the physicality, the setting. Not necessarily the world building, but no kidding where you are at then and there. And I'm just gonna say this now. I think the architectural design in Pressure is genius. I don't know if they did a ton of research when it came to like airlock facilities and those things, or if like they have like an actual interior designer on their team or something, but it is just ingenious to me. There's a ton of rooms that have high ceilings to indicate space, which in a technical sense would also echo, because like I said, it's a high ceiling floor. There's no really sound barriers. You just kind of have like the heat lock walls, and then you have every door in there is an airlock, by the way. There is no normal door. They're all airlocks. So even if you try to punch or slash or hit it, you wouldn't be able to get out. So even if you didn't do anything, how are you finding your way out? Those walls are thick. Those doors are airlocked. You're not budging. You're not budging through them. And then there's also a ton of warped, sometimes illogical spaces, which I can go ahead and spill some examples right now of just some generally illogical spaces. There's this one that kind of goes around in a spiral. I forget what that's a reference to, but it's a reference to something. You have the Silent Hill never-ending hallway, which I literally just got. I think I have footage of it. I'll put on screen. We have the heart biome, which I've gotten twice, actually. We have the reference to Decaying Winter. We have the reference to the FNAF sister location room with the control shock. We have the... We have heavy containment, which is huge. That's also a great area to establish insignificance. We have the oxygen gardens, which are pretty huge as well. Also signify insignificance to you. As well as other things that are like extremely claustrophobic that make you feel like you can't get out. Like that sort of self-insignificance where it's so tight that there is no roundabouting this. It's a one-way situation. Like maintenance tunnels, the what is that one biome called where it has the trench tunnels. The trench tunnels is one of them. The river rooms is also extremely claustrophobic. It's a one-way sort of thing unless you get a safe room. And just things like those. All of those different room designs that are either so wide, so absurd, or so tight that you feel small compared to all of these great things surrounding you. And to just butter it up even more, you can't punch your way out, you can't dig your way out, you can't shoot your way out, you can't finesse your way out. You are trapped no matter what. And then, even if somehow you were able to get out, there's parasites in the water because you're so far beneath the surface. You're so far to the ocean surface, excuse me. And the pressure is so tight when you leave that you would probably just die. Like, your diving gear would break, your PDG would pop. Even if you did get the PDG off, you wouldn't have enough oxygen to get to the top. Like, where are you going? And then, like I said, the pressure in there, I have to find the diagram. Put the diagram on screen if I can find it. The pressure there is so tight when you leave that sort of breathable vacuum in the it's the something zone. I'm a fake. I don't want to sound like a fake, but I just want to remind everybody that you are 70,000 studs into the water. which is around the Let Van zone, where you can breathe like normal for just some odd reason. This is also where all these creatures are, the parasites, abomination, all that jazz. However, anything below 67,320 stud depth is like, the water pressure is so tight it can kill you, like, without any struggle. So even if you were to get out, even if you were able to remove your PDG, even if you were able to remove any ties you had to Urban Shade, there is no way you're swimming out of there. Ever. You couldn't even glide your way out. It would probably explode on you knowing the Navi AI. So that's just another thing to really dig it in your system, that you are just an ant compared to everything else in that facility. You can get crushed by literally anything and everything. And so now that we've talked about the narrative side, or at least I'm gonna say rant, now that we've ranted about the narrative side and the physical side, I want to talk about more of the sound side, which is one of my personal favorites. The tracks that begin when you open your first door, after you get your stuff, use the key card, and go through your first door. There are three different types of tracks that can occur. Tracks that symbolize purely hope. Tracks that give a feeling of hopelessness, but progress into that small feeling of hope, that small star in the distance that you can just reach to the light with your own hand, that you're gripping onto every room and every corner you turn. And then tracks that are just pure hopelessness. Now, I believe that these are a great way to establish the tone of your run. Not necessarily your run, but the tone of the game. Is that you are expendable. Even if you got out, no one would believe you anyway. And while you are in there, you are insignificant to the major cause and the major clause, which is Urban Shade's mission to keep everything there and keep their facilities secure. Now, granted, each one of these types of tracks are very, very, very beautiful in their own right, because the ones that are like a glimmer of hope, they're hopeful throughout the entire track, and they provide a sense of comfort. And if you've played the game for the first time, or even after you play the game for the first time, it kind of gives you, it heals that sense of unease you have, and is almost kind of like a safety net for you. So then when everything flickers and that music draws out, you're on your own. You're left in the dark again. And then the ones about the died down a bit. Now the ones that have a sense of hopelessness that progresses into having hope and having faith, I enjoy those ones a lot, especially the newer ones, because at the start, you're given this tone that's more of like, yes, you are expendable, but over time, as the chords and the melodies and everything progresses, I'm no musician, but just as everything progresses throughout the track, you are given this feeling of empowerment that I can do this. It may be impossible, but you can't spell impossible without possible. That sort of cheesy thing where I can do this. It can be done. I can power through it. I am capable. In just this supernatural series of events, I can do it. And then when that music cuts out, when you get your first entity, it leaves with this calmness to it this almost coming to terms sort of vibe. And then when it comes to ones that are complete hopelessness, they're dark, they're dreary, they don't really progress as heavily as the ones that have hope kind of seeped within them. Excuse me. It's just more of like this, like I said, dark, dreary, and that feeling of, why am I here? How did I even get here? Is there even a way out for me? Can I even do this? That sense of existential dread, like, where am I going to go after all of this? These things are completely outside of my comfortability, and it kind of gives your character this cognitive bias that you really can't think outside of what you've already been told and already have learned throughout your time throughout Roblox. And it's kind of funny because that soundtrack, the ones that kind of give a sense of hopelessness, are almost meta to the existence of pressure itself. Doors and pressure just existing has completely warped people's view of Roblox. Like, I hope y'all know this. Because a lot of people above the age of even 17, but people above the age of 20 normally believe that Roblox is just a game for kids, which, I mean, that's fair. We're in a retro slop era right now where we have Grow a Garden full of 15 million players with bots and all of these Italian brain rot games to view bait kids. And also the whole situation of, like, people can't just not talk to kids. It's as easy as just don't do it. Like, don't do it. Don't talk to children, please. But pressure, its inspirations, its collaborations, and the voice talents within the game have completely reestablished to several employed people and, like, adults and all those things, or even older teens, like people from like 16 to 17 to 18, that there are really good projects on the Roblox platform. It rips through that cognitive bias, and that's genius to me. I love that. But that's only the first part. The dark rooms ambience that give this strong sense of hopelessness in and of themselves, as well as suspicion and a sense of distrust. Because keep in mind, lights don't flicker in the dark rooms unless you have Harbinger. Like, if you're in Endless and you get Harbinger and everything starts going red and freaking out. Like, in that situation in the dark rooms, the one thing that you've relied on throughout the entire run, you can't rely on anymore. You have to rely on sheer will and human instinct in that situation, like hearing and sight. Sight mainly for wall dwellers, but hearing especially for things like Pinky and Frogger and Pandemonium. Really, those are the scariest ones. And Blitz. Blitz is probably the scariest one you can get in the dark rooms, aside from Pandemonium. And then also a ton of red herrings that make you feel just absolutely small and insignificant and just worthless in that situation. Like I call them red herrings. I think the game calls them ambiances, but I call them red herrings because they're supposed to catch you off guard. You literally indirectly hear the demise of other EXRPs, primarily the turret firing red herring, the woman screaming red herring, the man screaming, the man yelling help, red herring, as well as the, there's this one ambience too, this one red herring of this guy running away from Pandemonium or getting killed by Pandemonium. I got it on one of my recordings, and I think I'll play it. And the sound design when it comes to like those red herrings is really just, it just makes the game 10 times better. Because even though those other EXRPs aren't directly in game, it shows you how huge just Urbanshade is as a place, from the fact that you can hear other people getting swarmed by the same entities as you. That Sebastian let out because he's crazy. But also, if I was experimented on by a shadow organization, I would get mad too and let all the entities out and form bonds with them. So, that's honestly fair. I can't even be mad at Sebastian for that. And then we have entity sound effects. I'm gonna say an unpopular opinion. I think Pandemonium was scarier before his new update in Worth the Wait. And I only say that because the only warning you ever got was him searching with the slowed down dragging metal sound effect. The fact that you get an audio warning now when he spawns is really good, but I think he was much scarier when he didn't have that, and all you heard was the searching sound of him coming up close. Of him coming, and then the attacking sound when he actually finds you. But I'm gonna say another unpopular opinion. I believe the scariest angler is Pinky.
He's still quite OP.
There is, I don't know what the source sound for her is that they slowed down or pitched up, but it sounds like a developer or a child screaming, getting slowed down and then pitched up. And it's gotten into my dreams before at one point when I prayed pressure like every day. There is something about Pinky's sound effects, like her searching and her attacking, that is genuinely the most terrifying thing to me out of that entire game. Like, nothing scares me more in that game than hearing Pinky. I don't even get scared by Pandemonium coming anymore. It's just Pinky. Pinky scares the bejesus out of me. But then we also have Blitz. And I think Blitz is really good too, because he completely alters your expectations when it comes to anglers, because he's just really fast. That's why his name is Blitz. He's fast. Like, you hear that droning sound, and you're just like, do I go in now or do I wait till when he pops up? But you're scared to go into the locker on frame 1 because he's so fast. He'd probably get up to you by then, and by the time you're like halfway in the locker, you feel like he's gonna kill you. So, and then we also have the bittersweetness of the imaginary friend's presence. I only include this here because, like I said before, even though imaginary is supposed to be your friend, she, or if you get the blue one, he, will come up behind you and kind of just breathe at your neck, and it's kind of, sort of, so to speak, to where they make themselves known that they are that they're being as much of a threat as they can be, which is like more of a mental, cognitive threat. So like even your friend can't even help you. And like Imaginary's lines are also very bittersweet because she can be kind to you at times. She'll even compliment the DSB and be like, "Can we keep it?" Like she expresses joy in some cases to you and kind of relaxes you. It relieves any unease you have during your run, but then she'll turn right around and, like, if you kill Painter or something, she'll call you cruel, she'll call you like an insect, and all those things. And then also, it's a thing that's genius too. I know I'm really struggling to tie these together, but just listen to me. I'm going without a script. I'm going off of sheer will and opinion that I've gained for the past year of playing Pressure. You are expendable. You are a criminal in this game. You are a convicted criminal being put in a shadow organization's facilities against supernatural creatures that could probably kill you with ease, and the only way you are preventing them is from evading in rooms and hiding in metal lockers. And they are like 3 to 10 times your size. You are surviving off of sheer human instinct. And that one person who's supposed to be your friend, so to speak, is even making fun of and ridiculing you for whatever crimes you've done prior to entering the URBANSHADE facility. You are expendable to her just as much as URBANSHADE believes you are expendable. And the way they had S.J. Harris play her role off admits that, admittedly, perfectly, in my opinion. Perfectly, flawlessly. She does an amazing job of making you as a player and a character feel sick and at unease. And then obviously we have the wall dwellers, just the idea of hearing footsteps when you're alone. And then that one has effects, that's just that thing running up towards you, it's like dun 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 dun, and then it just pauses. And then you have the other one in relation to the red herring section I mentioned before, where it's this dude running and then getting mowed down by turrets. And that's really all I have, but I'll rant over one last little thing. I've heard a lot of people saying, oh, why did we kill Painter? Why are we killing Painter? Why would you do that to him? I want to remind y'all that this is not even talking from like the player, like your perspective. This is talking from your character and your position as the character you are playing. You are a criminal, you are expendable, you are worthless to the company. I mean the facility or organization, so to speak. YouTube, this is about a video game, by the way. I'm not trying to spread nothing. This is a video game. This is a Roblox game. And so you also have this sapient, self-aware, artificial intelligence that is out to get you simply to make fun of the fact that you are small in this situation. And again, you survive off of sheer human instinct and wisdom and will. So you're telling me that after this AI decides to try to shoot you down with bullets, confuse you by having multiple doors with the same numbers on them, with entities behind them, with relation to Sebastian, who let everybody out in the first place, you're telling me that you think your character would want to let him live when getting up close to him? No! After all of that time, it would make sense that your character would want to beat the ever-loving crap out of that computer, because he is just as much as a nuisance to them as they are to the Navi AI in URBANSHADE. So, I don't want to hear oh, why would you do that to Painter, my baby boy? We need to keep him. He's doing da-da-da-da-da. That's up to you if you want to go for the salvation route or the normal route. But if you're talking about it from a lore perspective, your character would hate Painter. It does not matter who you are. It does not matter what Robloxian you are. They would despise Painter for being such a pain in any run. So, like, him being rescued, quote-unquote, the way he was, makes perfect sense. In my opinion. But I'm gonna leave it there, because it's at 36 minutes now. Golly. And I gotta convert it to a WAV or MP3. Thank you if you were able to bear up with me being lazy and not writing up a script and ranting off of sheer knowledge and experience. I'll say I have gotten the 500 rooms badge in Pressure and the 250. Like, I have the premium payout badge and I run that one. Thank you. This is not meant to be a lore guide or anything. This is not meant to be a guide on anything. It's mainly just my experience with the game, how I feel about the game up to this point, and I don't know. It might be a little biased, but hey, I'm not trying to spread any facts about anything. It's just more of how I feel about the game. And I'm glad we have pressure because Roblox admittedly is in this weird state where we're getting a bunch of amazing games at the same time as these view slops. Excuse me, so to speak. So, I love y'all. Stay creative. Take care. And peace.